In the present video, we will discuss the different forecasting methods. The forecasting methods can be classified into qualitative techniques and quantitative techniques. These are presented below. So this is the schematic representation of the classification of forecasting methods. So forecasting methods are classified into qualitative or subjective methods and quantitative methods. Qualitative techniques are used as a subjective approaches, and these qualitative techniques are useful where no data is available and useful for new products. And quantitative techniques are based on historical data. These quantitative techniques are more accurate and computers can be used to speed up the process. These qualitative or subjective methods are also we are calling as the judgmental methods, and these methods are subclassified into four types. One is the opinion survey method, market trial method, market research method, and the Delphi technique. And quantitative techniques are classified into two categories. One is the based on time series. Second one is the casual or econometric methods. In time series, we will be discuss the four methods. One is the past average. Second one is simple moving average. Third one is weighted moving average, and the fourth one is exponential smoothing method. Similarly, in the quantitative techniques are another subclassification is casual or econometric method. These subclassified into the two techniques. One is the correlation technique and another one is the regression technique. So next we have to discuss briefly about the qualitative techniques. These techniques also we are calling as the judgmental method of forecasting. The judgmental method is based on human experience, knowledge, and personal judgment to predict future demand. So in the judgmental method, experts or experienced people estimate future sales without depending completely on past sales data or statistical techniques. So these methods, these qualitative techniques mainly used when the past data is not available and a new product is introduced, and moreover market conditions are changed suddenly. So let's see the features of these qualitative techniques. These techniques are depends on human thinking and experience, simple and quick method, no need for detailed historical data, and moreover these techniques are useful for short-term forecasting. Let's see the first qualitative method, opinion survey method. In the opinion survey method, opinions are collected from customers, retailers, distributors, and the salespersons. Their views about future demand are analyzed to forecast the sales. Let's discuss this method with one example. Let's consider example launch of a new cool drink. Suppose a company plans to launch a new soft drink called Cool Fresh in summer. Since the product is new, so there is no previous sales data is available. So the company conducts an opinion survey. So first they have to collect the opinions from the customers, retailers, and the distributors. In this regard, company asks the questions to the customers, retailers, and the distributors. So first they have to ask the questions from the customers is, will you buy this drink? And similarly, they will ask the question from the retailers, how many bottles may sell daily? Moreover, from the distributors. They will ask the question is which areas may have high demand. And next step is analyze their responses. Let's consider customer says the which flavor is attractive and retailer expert give the high summer sales and distributors predict more demand near colleges and malls. So based on their analyze the responses. So next company forecast the demand. So based on these opinions, company will be forecast. Let's consider about 20,000 bottles may be sold in the first month. In this regard, company plans to production and marketing accordingly. So this is the opinion survey method. Next we will discuss the advantages and limitations of the opinion survey method. So let's see the advantages. Advantages are this method is easy to use and this opinion survey method is helpful for new products and this method is quick decision making and moreover this is uses practical market knowledge. Similarly, certain limitations also there, that is this method depends on personal opinion and from this method forecast may be biased or inaccurate and moreover this opinion survey method is different people may give different judgments. Next we have to discuss about the second method, market trial method. The market trial method is used mainly for new products. So in this method the product is introduced to a limited group of customers or in a small market area before launching it on a large scale. So usually company provides free sales, trial packs and limited area sales. So then the response from the small group of customers is studied to estimate future demand in the larger market. So this method is mostly suitable for the toothpaste, cool drinks, chocolates and cosmetic items, snacks and other low cost consumable products. Let's discuss this method with one example. Let's consider example is launch of a new chocolate brand. Suppose a company wants to launch a new chocolate called Choco Fun. Since it is a new product, company is unsure about customer response, so the company conducts a market trial. So first, company introduce product in limited area. So company launches the chocolate only in one city and also it will be launches in selected supermarkets and nearby schools and the malls. Moreover, company also distribute some free samples. So next, company collect customer response. So company observe the number of chocolates sold, customers feedback about the taste and price, and they have to observe the repeat purchases by the customers. So then they have to take the report from the retailers also. So they will be collect the data. Children's like this taste and sales increase during the weekends. These kind of the response company will be record. So next step is based on this response, company will be forecast the demand. So after analyzing the trial results, the company estimates the product may achieve high sales across the state. Then what the company does the next to mean? So the company starts large scale production and advertising campaigns and distribution to more cities. So next we have to discuss about the advantages and limitations of the market trial method. Advantages are this method gives real market response, and reduces business risk, and it is very helpful for new product launch and improves marketing decisions. Moreover, certain limitations also there, that is the time consuming process, and this method is the costly method, and competitor may copy the product idea before the full launch. So this is about the market trial method. Next we will discuss the third method, market research method. The market research method is a forecasting method in which the company collects market information through a systematic survey and research process. So in this method, the survey work is usually assigned to external marketing agencies, research organizations, and professional survey teams. So the response of research is to study customer behavior and estimate future demand for a product. So the research is mainly collect information about the factors such as customers' income, occupation, location, quantity required, quality preference, and buying habits. Based on this information, company forecast the future sales demand. So next we have to discuss about this method with one example. Let's consider example is the launch of a new premium shampoo. Suppose a company wants to introduce a new premium shampoo called Silky Shine. Before launching the product, the company wants to know which customers may buy it and what price customers prefer, which areas have high demand. So the company conducts market research. So first they have to plan the research, which means define the problem, self-research objectives, decide information to collect, and select the target market. Then they have to collect the data based on the surveys and the questionnaires, interviews, and the observations. After that, they have to analyze the data. So data is analyzed using charts, graphs, and different statistical tools. Then they have to they have to identify what the customer really needs and understand the preferences of the customers. Based on this one, estimate the demand potential. So next, obviously, they have to forecast the future demand. So accurate forecast helps the company in planning production, pricing, advertising, and the distribution. So this is the market research method. So let's see the advantages. In the market research method, provides detailed market information. So this method is more scientific and reliable. This method helps understanding customer needs, and moreover, this method is useful for long-term planning. Similarly, it is having the certain limitations. So it is the very expensive method and time-consuming process. Moreover, this process requires skilled researchers and data analysis. Next, we will discuss the Delphi technique. The Delphi technique is a forecasting method in which a group of experts are asked questions step by step to predict future demand or future events. So in this method, experts give their opinions individually. The responses are collected and analyzed. The summary of opinions is shared with other experts. So based on previous responses, new questions are prepared. So this process continues in several rounds until a common opinion or final forecast is reached. The Delphi technique is mainly used when future conditions are uncertain, expert knowledge is important, and no accurate past data is available. And moreover, Delphi technique is commonly used for new technology for forecasting, business planning, economic forecasting, and product demand prediction. Next, we will discuss the Delphi technique with one example. Let's consider example forecasting demand for electric bikes. Suppose a company plans to manufacture a new electric bike called EcoRide. Since the electrical vehicle market is changing rapidly, the company cannot depend only on past sales data. So the company uses the Delphi technique. In the Delphi technique, first step is form a panel of experts, and these experts are the different kind of specialization persons. So the company selects the experts such as the automobile engineers, market analysts, dealers, and environmental specialists. Next step is ask first round questions. So after forming the expertise committee, then experts are asked questions like, will demand for electric bikes increase in the next 5 years? What price range will customers prefer? Which cities may show high demand? So these kind of the questions are asked by the experts. After that one, step 3 is share the responses and ask next questions. So the company summarize the all expert questions and share them with the another group. Based on the first responses, new questions are asked such as the what factors may increase electric bike sales and how will fuel prices affect the demand. So experts once again they have to revise their opinions after reviewing the others' ideas. So next step 4 is the final forecast. After several rounds, the experts reach a common conclusion that demand for electric bikes is likely to increase significantly in urban areas. Then, based on this forecast, company have to plan for production capacity and pricing strategy. So, what price range customers will be prefer the electric bike? Then they have to play with the pricing strategy. Then marketing activities and dealer network expansion. So, Delphi technique helps companies make better decisions using expert knowledge and reach a reliable forecast. So, let's see the advantages and limitations of this Delphi technique. Advantages are the uses expert knowledge and experience, useful when past data is unavailable, and this method helps in long-term forecasting, and moreover this method reduces individual bias through group opinion. Similarly, this method having the certain limitations. One is the time consuming process, expensive method, forecast depends on expert quality, and different experts may still have different views. So this is the judgmental forecasting techniques. Thank you.